Hello friends, in this video I would like to explain the concept of ERS, Evaluated Receipt Settlements. So basically, if you take a procurement cycle, what we have is first we create a PR and PO, purchase order. Then once we receive the goods from the supplier, we'll do the GR. And we would wait for the vendor invoice copy to be sent by the vendor to us, right? So if we suppose if we are a company, okay, and we would be waiting for the vendor invoice that vendor should send us, okay. Then after he send the hard copy or the soft copy, we'll post the vendor invoice in SAP using Miro transaction, right? So this is the process. So this is a normal process, but when you come to concept of ERS, so we have the same step, purchase order. Then GR is mandatory. We need to do the GR. So instead of waiting for the vendor invoice, what we do is we automatically have the post the invoice using Miro, because this step can be eliminated if we have an agreement with the vendor saying that, so this is what the tax rate, this is the what the amount that I pay for this material. So for this, what are the master records that are important are, see, we need to have a material master. We should have a vendor master, which is nothing but the business partner. Okay. And in business partner, we should have GR based invoice check. GR based invoice check option and ERS settlement. There is an field called auto ERS. Okay, auto ERS. Now this is a master data, and also we record info record. Okay, we record info record for the price and the tax code, which is important. So these are the master data that are important here. When it comes to transaction data, what we have is first we will do PO, we will do the GR, and we will do the auto ERS settlement. How we will do that? In few minutes we'll be seeing that as well. Okay. Let us go quickly to the SAP. Now what I would be using? I would be using the raw material raw 6. Okay. I will see whether what info record is currently available. Let me see for that combination. So C16 and EINE. So EINA. So my vendor is 3705. So is the vendor. I'll go through these steps. Okay, now. So seed the level halb 3. So halb 3. I'll use the halb 3 as an raw material which I purchased from the. Okay. So what I'll do is now halb 3 is the metal master. Halb 3 is my metal master. Now what is this vendor master? What is this vendor? Vendor is 3705. Okay, info record we will see, POGR we will see. Now let us go to first vendor master. If you go, so the vendor master what you see is 3705 is my vendor number. Okay, this is a business partner, but business partner is assigned to the vendor master. Okay, so vendor master or customer master will be assigned to the business partner, which is for finance. Okay, so 3705 is the our vendor. If you go to the purchasing data, if you see for 9999 purchase organization, GR based invoice verification is what important. This check is important, and also there is one other check which is called auto ERS settlement. ERS settlement, evaluated receipt settlement, is important. So these are the important things in the vendor master. Okay. Now let us go to the info record as well. Let me save this. /n. So I'll say 3705 9999. So standard. So it says no plan specific purchase organization data exists, right? So let us maintain it. Okay, let us maintain it. I'll maintain it. Okay. So what is important is here your tax code is very important. And it says no ERS. This should be unchecked, okay? In info record, no ERS mean no evaluator receipt. So in vendor master data, you can have the ERS settlement, okay? But for particular materials, the ERS, so if you maintain for info record based on material and vendor combination, it will always be going to the automatic evaluation settlement. So there is no invoice that is required, invoice copy that is required from the vendor. But in some cases, suppose if there are some 10 materials out of which 2 materials there is a need that a vendor should send that copies, then what you do is you control in info record. So you will say for raw material 6, or let us assume raw material 11, there is no ERS concept, meaning the vendor should send the ERS copy or the vendor invoice copy. Okay, so this is how you control for the different materials. Now let me give the plan delivery time. It's just tax code is not that fine. Let us leave that tax code. That is not mandatory here, but it is mandatory at the PO level. Okay, just make sure that you maintain some tax. So if you are not maintaining here, we will maintain in the PO level. Now I'll go to the conditions. Already there is some value, so I'll set $250. Condition to PO. Okay, that's fine. It's not giving some error. Okay, so I'm not condition type. Okay, so let's save it without any conditions. What it says. Okay, it is not allowing us. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so info record we have maintained. Now what we'll do is we'll directly create a PO now. ME21N. I'll put 3705 as my vendor. Organization data. So I'll put 9999. I'll put 101 as my purchase group. Now half 3 is my material. I'll say I require 10 quantities. Now I required for 99997. Now if you see here, there should be automatic ERS check here. It is not coming. Why this is not coming? We need to see. What is the vendor number we have chosen? Sorry, here I forgot the vendor number. Okay. Oh, that is not saved, I think. Okay. So the info record has not been saved. ME12, not half 3. This is half underscore 3. Okay, purchase organization. So this is not saved actually. Sorry, I took maybe the different material. So no ERS, because of that no ERS, the ERS settle check has been deactivated here. So because for half, now we should remove this check, but it should be activated in the PO. Okay, in the vendor master. Okay, now let us create once again MA21N. Same thing. 3705. 101 9999 half 3 10 quantities I require for 9997. Now see here ERS has been taken from the vendor master. Okay, now tax code is mandatory here, so you need to give a tax code. Let us give a tax code here. So we have lot of tax code. I'm not sure why it is not showing, but let us see what the system proposes. Okay, so I will say V1. Does it accept V1? V1 is sales tax, or let us see what is the tax. Okay, it's just checking. Okay, so let us check now. So we have everything fine. We have a ERS check here. We have tax code. Okay, we have info record. From info record, we are getting the price and everything. I am just saving it. Save. So we have a PO now. So we have a PO. Now let us do a micro transaction because GR is mandatory for an ERS settlement. Now what I'll do is I'll say goods received against the purchase order. I'll say enter. No goods received possible. Why? Because there must be an inbound delivery that needs to be created. Okay. Because confirmation control key is 004. Yeah. So yeah, it's looking for a VL31N because there is inbound delivery that is required. If you see the confirmation control key, it requires some inbound delivery document. Okay, that's why I'm creating VL31N. Okay, give the PO and enter it. So this is what 997A is what I want the stock. Okay, and also put away 10. I'll save it. Now I created the inbound delivery. Okay, let me get it display. So if you see the confirmation control key now, in the PO you will have one of the inbound delivery document. Okay, few of the companies require inbound delivery or they will directly do the GR. Okay, so in this case because I the vendor master is maintained with 0004, which is required the confirmation control key, which is nothing but inbound delivery. Okay, so now what I'll do is I will go here. You can either do with against the PO or you can do against the invoice, inbound invoice. Okay. If I say enter, so automatically it took it. Okay, you can also do it with against the PO as well. Now I'll say check. So some batch is creating fine. Post. Inbound delivery here has been changed. Oh, okay, fine. Finish. So let me do one thing. Okay, it's expecting some batch here. Let me put some 78 and save it. Now if I do my also it will not accept it. My go against the inbound delivery check. Okay, and post. Okay, material document is posted. Now usually what happens in the back end, we will wait for the vendor invoice for a normal scenario. But in this case, we will not wait for the vendor invoice. What we can do is we can automatically schedule a backend job daily to run a program or the transaction. Okay, if you go to logistics, okay, materials management, okay, logistics invoice verification, automatic settlement. Okay, if you see here, MRRL is the transaction. Okay, now if I go to MRRL, if I give the company code, plant and vendor and put a test run, let us see the test run. What are the different settlements that needs to be done against this for this vendor? See, reference doc. So this is the PO 919 PO and this is the reference document 1217, which is nothing but the document which we have posted recently. So what we are trying to do is for this PO, for this or for this material document we are doing settlement. So what we are doing is two-way check. One is for the PO we are taking the price, for the from the GR we are taking the quantity. So we are matching two-way check and we are settling it to the vendor. Okay, it's just postable. Okay, usually what you do is you will go to Miro and do it, but you can also schedule this as a backend job so that it can run successfully. Okay, now you just remove this check and say execute. Now see, the invoice document has been posted. You can click on this. It will take you to the same Miro transaction display. See, but what we are doing is we are doing it automatically. You can schedule this as a backend job daily, okay? With this variant saying that okay, you can save the variant here, save the variant, and say for this company code plan vendor, and you can run whenever the GR has been posted. Instead of waiting for the vendor to send the invoice, you can do automatical settlement. So this is concept of ERS, okay? So where we are not waiting for the vendor invoice or the vendor to send the invoice, we are automatically settling it through our SAP concept called ERS settlement. Okay. Thanks for watching this video.